Friday night live podcast. I'm Zach. We got Sean with us here tonight. We're going to be reviewing some 1960s Dempster promotional uh, videos that I got from the Dempster family, the great nephew of George Dempster. When I went out to Tennessee a couple of years ago, they're still alive and kicking, the Dempster family, the Dempster name in Knoxville, Tennessee. So I'm excited to go through this. I've had them up on YouTube for a couple of years, but I just thought it would be interesting for this week if we went through what was new concepts back then in the 60s as everybody was still trying to figure everything out technology wise, what is really commonplace today. So it's groundbreaking back then, but uh, is uh, sort of run of the mill now. So, Sean, I'll go ahead and share my screen unless you have anything you want to kick off with. It's just you and me here today.
Yep, just me and you. Yeah, just showcase this new channel. Let's get some subscribers on it and, you know, show it off a little bit.
Yeah, man, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So, let's see.
Oh, yeah, if anybody wants to comment, just comment. We'll answer your comments as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, sorry, I'll start this off. So, I figured, so we'll review a couple of these videos today. I have probably about eight or nine total that was made available to me. This first one is the Dempster Dumpster LFW 253C. So this is um, just a little backstory. So this was George Dempster's original creation. Um, and I'm not sure on my screen, am I?
No,
Or am I?
we see nothing.
We see nothing. All right, stand by, guys. Sorry. Technical difficulties.
There we go.
There we go. Cool. And also, by the way, I have my Dempster Dumpster uh, koozie that those guys gave me. Awesome. Love those guys.
And that looks like some good ginger ale.
Yes, we'll call it ginger ale. Cool. So, uh, going back to the beginning, so Dempster used to be a household name, and it still kind of is today. When we still call um, containerized metal bins dumpsters, and Dempster was the one that started that. It was known as the Dempster dumpster. Um, so back in the 30s, uh, George Dempster had a construction business, and he originally created this system, not the one that necessarily we'll see today. This is a much more mature version and probably several generations past what he initially created. But he initially created this entire Dempster dumpster containerized system to move dirt around specifically for his construction business. And he recognized and realized, because he was a very ingenious and forward thinking man, that, hey, I can take this and I can market this to the waste industry. And so we'll see a couple iterations of their thought process behind containerized collection, why it's healthy, why it's safe and healthy, not only for storage of material, but also to keep, uh, pests and smells down, but also for ease of movement. So we'll go ahead and hide that, and we'll just go ahead and get started. And Sean, if you have any comments during the video, let me know, and I can pause it.
Okay, sounds good.
And let's see, is anybody watching? Hey, if you're in the chat, if you're watching, throw a hi in there. Let us know you're seeing everything okay.
Or or be zombies.
Is the audio okay?
I got no audio. Did you share your audio in the video? We have no audio.
You don't have any audio?
I thought it was like a silent movie.
Okay, I can't hear you, so all I hear is the video in my head.
Right, we don't hear it here.
What's that? Sorry.
We don't hear it. We don't hear.
You don't hear it.
Why
is it not playing?
Did you set it up for audio, share audio as well? If you shared your entire screen, sometimes you got to make sure you're hitting that share entire audio.
Well, let's do this. I'll go back to there. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. We're figuring all this out.
It's our first go with it, so.
And now it's not. Let's see.
No, it doesn't want to play.
Share screen, entire screen, share audio, and
Dempster Brothers, creative engineers, successfully exploring new ideas to reduce your materials handling costs with the Dempster Dumpster system.
Are you hearing it?
Presents the Dempster Dumpster LFW 253C. A new and highly efficient member of the Dempster Dumpster system, one we predict you'll see a lot of, is the Dempster Dumpster LFW 253C. Note its features: straight boom arms, underslung vertical cylinders, high pressure hose direct to the cylinders, and easier access for maintenance. Its entire streamlined ruggedness has a shipping weight of only 4,500 pounds, but as we'll see, lifting ability has not been sacrificed for capacity. First, notice the truck chassis the 253C is mounted on. It's an 18,000 gross vehicular weight, and that means less investment for a chassis and lower operating costs, even though this model handles containers right up through the 15 cubic yard universals, with payloads up to 7,500 pounds net in 2.5 cubic yard containers.
So I'll say what's ingenious about this system is it's still used today. You'll find a lot of metal scrap guys using the Dempster dumpsters, typically in open top style containers where maybe they're half loaded. But I remember when I was running trash up in Seattle, Waste Management and also Republic had one or two of these trucks, and they were really good for getting into commercial stops where the product that the customer was putting into the bins was too heavy for your traditional front loader to pick up, but you didn't either have the space to get a roll off in there. The Nationals are still using this system to the day, which I think is kind of cool and crazy. But it's back in when this video was shot, this was the standard this is like the most technologically advanced truck for its day. Keep in mind that they were also producing the Dempster Dump Master with their front loader line and also Dinosaur at this time. But in a lot of regions and municipalities or haulers where you didn't have to drive a long distance to the landfill, this system was actually really cost effective in saving. So,
Looks really cool. That's almost like the arm. Isn't it almost like the arm? Like the ones with the arms on it?
what do you mean?
Like we use something kind of like that today. It just doesn't have the rail system, but it has that little thing that comes out and hooks on the bottom of the can and pulls it onto the truck.
I'm not sure. Are you talking like the lugger system? If I said lugger system,
have it. Like that crane thing that comes off and grabs the can. I don't know what it's called because I've never even used it.
yeah, I'm not sure.
It picks up a can, kind of like almost looks like the similarity, but it's only got like one claw thing.
Well, so you have container delivery trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, this is essentially a container delivery truck, but used for actually transporting the dumpster to. Like, this is like a early gen roll off type thing.
Right. That's it's called the hook truck. That's what it's called. I couldn't think of the name of it at all.
Oh, you're talking about a hook lift?
Yeah.
Oh, like baby hook lifts. Oh, okay, yeah.
Kind of the same. So we kind of do use the same functions today.
Yeah, I mean, I would say hook lifts are more of an offshoot of like your roll off.
It is. Yep.
Style, but yeah, that's fine. Anyway, we'll continue.
Let's look at some typical operations. Here's the 12 cubic yard universal container on its way to a disposal point. A heavily loaded, low universal type. And one of the skip type containers.
Yeah, so they're going to go through
The
all the different...
253C handling the L12 collector type container
This is kind of a cool
popular in
concept.
cities, especially the smaller ones. With back doors open, trash goes first into a separated forward compartment. When it is filled, the rear doors are closed and further loading continues from the back step. The Dempster dumpster goes right into narrow alleys for trash pickup. At night, this same 253C will handle a great number of detachable containers located in the business district. No other method of municipal trash collection can approach this system for economy and efficiency.
Yeah, so I can remember stories of there's a lot of municipalities and companies that would run basically 24/7. So these guys would work in like 8-hour shifts. They go out, they take their trucks, they go run their route, they come back to the yard. The mechanics would, fill it up with gas, make sure all the fluids were topped off and everything, and then it'd go back out because, so there's, I can remember specifically one company in Dallas, Texas area, probably, I think it was Dallas, called American Disposal. And they would run their trucks 24/7. And they would use this system where they would bring their, the drivers go out and, 8-10-hour shifts, and, they'd run the route, they'd come back, they'd make sure everything was good. But, running their truck 24/7, you're cutting the lifespan from, maybe 10, 12 years to probably 3 or 4. So you have to make sure that you're getting the most bang for your buck from your truck, and your profit, matches, your investment in buying the truck.
Right.
So I think it's cool that they kind of talk about that. So, during the day, this hauler municipality or whatever is, running basically residential, and another crew is going to come and run commercial at night.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Other containers include the heavy-duty drop-bottom types and the tilt type with lip, especially designed for handling liquids. The apartment-type containers are handled just as easily by the 253C. an unusual camera angle, but it demonstrates the large size of the 15 cubic yard universal type container, here loaded from the side door opening and through the top openings. The universal can be filled in 2 layers or from 2 levels, assuring maximum loading.
So I'll say one thing really quickly about the actual Dempster. So Dempster actually prevented and sued companies from making these style of dumpsters. So companies that bought into the Dempster system, whether it was the Dempster dumpster, the dinosaur, or the front loader, a lot of them, they all had to buy their containers from Dempster. So if you notice on when they were talking about that apartment style container, that very much looks similar to a lot of the I'll call it East Coast style containers that we see today, that the big 6, 8, 10 yard with the side door that either slides or opens, right? So even today we're seeing the echoes of what Dempster started back in the 50s, back in the 40s, even with the style of with how they designed their containers. And because they were so prevalent and they had such good marketing through their videos and literature and advertisement, they were really the first major complete refuse manufacturer to offer a complete system from truck system in terms of how you would design your collection using the truck, and also with the containers to that the truck would service essentially.
It's really
So
cool.
anyway,
The 253C with its lightweight truck chassis approaches the 15 cubic yard container just like the others we've seen, and handles it with the same speed and ease you're used to in the Dempster dumpster system.
that guy must be a state or city worker with the way how fast he's moving, because he was not moving quickly. He was walking.
I remember rear load work, boy. You're running. You're like trying to get them the cans picked up so you can move
Yeah,
on.
this dude was not in a hurry, and the narrator's talking about with as quickly as if you see, it's like, and the dude's just like casually walking. I'm like, okay, cool. You must be a municipal employee. Not that I have anything against municipal employees. I'm a government employee too. So.
There has been no compromise with efficient handling. The 253C on its more economical truck chassis, with its reduced costs of operation and maintenance, still gives you rugged dependability.
Damn, that sucker's so tall. A 15-yard.
As part of this demonstration sequence, the driver on his way to the disposal point places the container on scales. Remember that the 253C picks up and handles payloads of 7,500 pounds net in 2.5 cubic yard containers, with this particular container and its load weighing in at 7,635 pounds. And now to check the gross weight, the truck-mounted Dempster dumpster with its payload goes onto the scales.
It'd be such a pain in the butt to have to like drop your container, weigh it, and then go on, and pick it up and then back on.
The rated capacity of the truck chassis is 18,000 pounds. The scale ticket indicates the total weight at 17,240 pounds. Resuming its trip to the disposal point, we are seeing the 253C in operation at very nearly its net capacity in a 15 cubic yard container. Yet there's not the slightest let up in its ease of handling. The container is elevated to the dumping position. And the solidly packed 15 cubic yard universal discharges its contents quickly and completely. This new member of the Dempster Dumpster team, the LFW 253C, versatile, dependable, economical, adds its advantages to a system where only one man, the driver, can serve scores of big detachable steel containers in sizes from 2 to 21 cubic yards and payloads up to and over 36,000 pounds.
So they're only talking about
The
15 yards.
253C is more proof that there's a Dempster dumpster.
So they're only talking about 15 yards here, but apparently they made up to, sounded like 22 yard is what he said.
That's like getting into roll-off containers.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
I'm going to rewind it a second.
The 253C is more proof that in sizes from 2 to 21 cubic yards.
Damn, 21 cubic yard. That's, yeah. I mean, look how giant that freaking container is, and they're calling that a 15 yard. So I can't even imagine what a 21 yard Dempster dumpster looks like and how ginormous that thing must be.
Right. That's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was getting a few messages from some people that were saying they couldn't type, so.
No, that's
so
okay.
I asked. I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's finish this video up and we'll go into the next one.
Yeah.
And payloads up to and over 36,000 pounds. The 253C is more proof that there's a Dempster dumpster built to meet every materials handling requirement.
Still cool though. I mean, think about what they had then to today. It's not much different.
No, it's really not. I mean, if you...
I mean, they definitely shrunk stuff.
The concept is still the same.
Right.
You know, like you don't find... So what you saw just there, right, with the, you know, like you could theoretically take the Dempster dumpster as you saw it just there, and with how a lot of companies have like their little mini hook lifts for like their cleanup stops and whatnot, you'll see them offer a you know, like you know, rental thing for consumers and customers where you can, you know, they drop off a 10-15 yard you know, roll off box, and then they have their little, you know, single axle hook lift truck come in and pick it up and haul it away. Like this is essentially the same concept.
Yeah, because I mean that's what I was referring to earlier. We have the 10 and 15 yard mini hook, you know, that comes out and drops off little dumpsters. So yeah, that's really interesting, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, and you could make the argument that either or both would work in whatever concept that you're talking about. I would just say that probably the reason that hook lift is more prevalent is because when most people think temporary bin storage, they think, you know, the roll-off concept because of how prevalent roll-off is, rather than, you know, like a Dempster dumpster. But
right,
you know, and nobody's really making them. Like I think Galbraith makes them, obviously Dempster Systems, but the popularity of that entire system has kind of become super niche, stuck to the metal, you know, to the scrap industry. Whereas, you know, back in the day, that was the main way that a lot of companies picked up, you know, did municipal trash. based on, you know, what we talked about last week, where I showed you the Hippo truck, right? Because that system had gone so prevalent, and you had a lot of early adopters that bought into that system. And then as the technology progressed and you moved to front loader, you're like, well, crap, like, how do I pick up my, you know, 10, 12, 15 yard Dempster dumpster with, you know, with a front load? Because, you know, that is clearly a lot more efficient and economic. Right. So how does that, you know, call it first generation technology catch up to the second generation of what I would call the front loader?
Yeah. You know what I wish though is I've used a box truck to pick up trash before, residential trash. I wish I'd have had that one bin that they showed.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what. You ever dump toters inside of a back of a box truck? You gotta use the ramp and
yeah,
each stop, you know, and you're trying to like heave the bags over, and man, that one dumpster would have been real nice.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. That would be real nice.
But I mean, you can see where their mindset is going with, you know, refuse. You know, the refuse collection isn't just strictly, you know, you need to have multi-purpose trucks. You know, trucks that can also, can pick up residential and also commercial.
Yep.
And I would say that's maybe one of the greatest downfalls of the automated side loader as a truck now is, unless a company, and I know multiple companies that have gone this route, but, you know, you think of the front loader, which was initially designed for the residential community. We'll get into that in a later podcast. But you think the front loader and then the rear loader, they were initially designed to handle residential trash, whether it was ash or, you know, the burn barrels that people would have in the back. You know, they burn their own trash, and, you know, they basically just the municipalities would come and take away the the burnt ash from the customer. But ASLs, as they're traditional, you know, as they're done now, is kind of is a one-trick pony, because it can't do commercial unless you have invested in, you know, 150, 300 gallon containers for commercial collection.
Right.
So, you know, front loaders, you know, you can put a carry can on there and you can do manual collection. Obviously, Corrado, John Corrado, he had he had Sonoma Disposal in California. And the main reason that he invented the Corrado can is because he had an entire fleet of front loaders, and they use their front loaders for commercial collection and residential collection using carry cans. And he's like, why would I sell off half my fleet and buy an entire new fleet of these new automated trucks, automated side loaders, to do the same thing that I'm doing with my front loaders?
Right.
So he's like, there's a better way to skin this cat. So that's why he invented the what we now know today as the Corrado can. And he wasn't the first person to do it, but he was his design was the best and the most lasting.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
The only question I had, this is probably going to be done in a later episode as well. Rear load trucks were already out at the point of this truck coming out, right?
Correct.
So this truck, okay.
So we'll in the next video we'll watch, we'll talk about it'll talk about how a lot of cities and municipalities handled the leaving of the trash for the truck to come pick up. Right. Because, you know, so Dempster really came on the scene in the late 30s, right? But, you know, Garwood, Leach, Heil, Rotopack, those systems had been online in like the late 20s, early 30s, but they mostly dealt with big municipalities, thinking like New York City and other, Department of Public Works style entities.
Right.
And a lot of their customers just left their trash, and they didn't provide any bins like we do today, like haulers do today. They would leave them, just put it on the street, we'll take care of it. You heard the term backyard service, where the drivers or helpers would basically go up to the back door of the customer and get the trash, and then using their carry cans, but cardboard boxes, or just leaving loose trash around, which drew a lot of rats, flies, dogs, wild animals to basically eat what was in there. But you also have to think that the consumerism that we see today didn't really take off until the 50s.
Right.
So, in the 30s, early 40s, we're just coming out of the Great Depression. The entire mindset, you have an entire generation that was very adept at reusing what you had, right? So there was trash that was generated, but it's not at the same volume as what we see today. Right. So the type of stuff that was thrown away was, ash, because they would burn their own stuff, or they would just reuse it. Right. And a lot of guys, I can remember stories of, talking to some early haulers in the 50s, their dads or grandfathers, when they first got started, they would pick up trash, and a lot of the stuff that they picked up, they would take to pig farms, and that's what they would feed the pigs. Or they would have special compartments on their trucks, because there are a lot of early on there the open dump style trucks, dump truck style bodies with a compartment over the cab, where they would go through the trash and they would pull out metal and stuff that they could recycle. So they would take the food scraps to the pigs, and then they would sell the recycling, the stuff that they could, make a profit on the side. So they're basically double dipping. So, when you hear recycling, was really started in the 80s. No, it was really started in recycling's been a thing since the very beginning.
Right.
It's just who's doing it. Is it the consumer, the customer that's sorting the stuff at the curb, or is it the single owner operator digging through the trash in his non-compaction truck, trying to maximize his profit any way he can?
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Why not?
Yeah.
They're throwing it out. You might as well just take it and sell it.
Yeah.
And it does good for the earth as well. So.
Yep.
Better.
All right. So let's go to the next video. We'll go to this one. All right. I'll go ahead and share my screen. We have, it looks like it's just me watching right now.
we had 24 people in, so.
I'm on YouTube. It's saying one person is watching.
Right now.
All right. You see my video? You see my screen?
I see it on the main screen, so it should pop up.
There we go.
In early days, disposal of waste and refuse was easy. We simply threw the stuff out in front of the cave. And when the pile got too big, We just moved our family and our belongings to a new cave. Unfortunately, we eventually ran out of caves, and mankind was brought face to face with the expensive problem of getting rid of refuse. As the population grew, the problem got bigger and more expensive, until today, the tab for refuse disposal runs into billions of dollars annually. Where does the money go? First, for maintenance and operation of disposal areas like this sanitary landfill or municipally owned incinerators where combustible waste is burned. Second, the lion's share of the money goes for the manpower required to collect and load refuse into trucks. And third, there's the...
So that's how it was done in a lot of areas throughout the country, all the way up until the 70s.
That guy up top had to watch out. Boy, that guy was just launching the trash right at him.
Yeah. I don't know, for some reason you're super low in my headset.
Oh. Yeah, that guy was just like, he had to catch the trash. Like, if
yeah,
he didn't catch the trash, he was getting hit with it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's crazy to think that, call them Packer trucks, early style Packer trucks were a thing in the 20s, but for a lot of guys that, it was just them doing it. This was the most economical way, because all you needed was just a truck, and you could go out and, do your own thing. Kind of like how Uber and Lyft started,
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
But
cost of
the trash got taken away though, right?
Yeah.
A lot more work, but it got taken away.
Yep.
Transporting the waste to the disposal area, such as payroll, gasoline, oil, maintenance, and other expenses. Yes, for business, industry, and municipal governments, waste disposal is a billion-dollar headache every year. But in addition to the cost, there's another big problem called temporary waste storage. Unless you have a bottomless pit in your backyard, you have to provide temporary storage for your refuse. First, a place. Then, something to put the refuse in. Some prefer cans, some prefer boxes, while others find it much more convenient just to throw it on the ground. Dogs and cats seem to prefer the cans. Rats like the cans too, but boxes are their best friends. While flies don't really care how you store it as long as it's open. This is not too bad a system, as long as you don't get too close to it.
I mean, these guys were genius in their
There are
marketing.
three big areas for improvement in refuse handling. First, storing it. Second, collecting it. And third, transporting it to the disposal area. The storage problem is easy to beat with a clean, big-capacity Dempster Dumpmaster container. Refuse is dumped through the end doors or the lids. Here it is fully enclosed. Flies can't get in. Ditto for the rats. Wind can't scatter it. Fire is out of the question. And man's best friend is dealt a cruel blow. The second improvement area is in collection. Collecting refuse from the Dempster Dumpmaster container is quite different from conventional refuse collection, in that one man and one Dempster Dumpmaster handle the entire job. Let's see how it's done. The Dumpmaster approaches this 6-yard container, engages the side channels with its lifting arms, and up it goes to be automatically rotated over the hopper, where it empties its load before returning the container to its original position. The equivalent of 40 trash cans, emptied in less than 30 seconds. This leaves transporting the waste, as our third area of improvement. Before the large population growth of the last decade and a half, disposal areas were only a short hauling distance from any part of the city. But as our cities grew and expanded, the hauls got longer and longer. Small capacity trucks, once economical, were enlarged. And enlarged until they became impractical. This eventually led to the development of the Packer-type truck body. Most refuse, being light and bulky, can be compressed or packed to reduce its volume. This allows the truck to carry bigger payloads, making the long hauls to the disposal area practical. Let's take a look at the Dempster Dumpmaster packing mechanism. The packer plate is moving back with a compression force of 60,000 pounds, supplied by a powerful 5-stage hydraulic cylinder on the other side of the plate.
So here's a question. What do you think your typical compaction is today? How many thousands of pounds?
A lot. Yeah, a lot. A lot of thousands of pounds. I can get tons on mine, so.
Well, what do you think? If they're doing 60 with a single multi-stage cylinder with a Dempster, what do you think we're doing today?
Oh no, it's not even that much more than that. Not really.
It's about double.
60,000.
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's about what we do. We actually allow, and we're not even allowed to carry that anymore. So.
Well, no, he's not saying how much you can carry. He's saying the compaction force.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's probably like double that.
Yeah, it's essentially double that today.
Right. Okay. Wow.
So in your 40-yard body, you're getting when you throw your blade back. So caveat that you lose your compaction force goes exponentially down when you hit your second and third cylinder, your leaf of your cylinder, right? So that 60,000 pounds or 120,000 pounds that we see today is cool, but that's only a single stage, right? Because when you get to your second stage, then you're probably about 3/4 of that. So you're probably about 80. And then when you get to your third stage, you're probably right around 60. So, yeah. But anyway, I just thought that was a cool point. You got any comments on what we've seen so far?
Nope. It's just like today.
It is. And I'd kill to drive one of these trucks. It'd be so fun.
That one truck that we seen, but I don't know, man. If that can fell, that's crushing the cab.
Well, maybe how you drive trucks. I don't know. Like I'm a pretty good front load operator,
I
so
only dropped one can, so I guess.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're still a baby in the front load world, so.
I'm only 3 years into it.
Okay.
For front load, yep. So.
Yep.
This powerful compression enables the Dempster Dumpmaster to haul from 70 to 100 cubic yards of loose material on every trip to the disposal area. Here's a view of a typical load being dumped.
So this is a company out of Atlanta, Georgia, McWhorter. They're giant.
And is clearing the body with the packer plate.
I don't know who they got bought out by,
but is compressed. Thus,
McWhorter is a company that you see a lot of in these
the Dempster Dumpmaster system. Sanitary enclosed temporary storage. Fast economical collection. And big payloads for economical long hauls.
So, do you notice how, really quick, do you notice how there's no tailgate cylinders?
Yeah.
So basically what they do is the tailgate was basically, it just swing, right? So it would open when you would start ejecting your load, essentially. Yeah.
Did you see the guy operating it? It looked like he was using 2 hands to operate the truck.
I don't know.
I was like,
I think they show some in-cab shots, but notice how the driver. So McWhorter, this truck right here, his arms are right below his cab shield, but in the previous truck with the white body and orange cab, he was driving with the arms just below the windshield.
Right.
Right. So remember, I think in our last video, or maybe our first video, how the Dempster Easy Pack, how the old trucks like these influenced how they were trained, how those drivers were trained, and how they trained the follow-on drivers, right? Because it's what they were used to, right? A lot of these guys were forced to drive with their arms either all the way down or with the fork bar just below the windshield. Right. So, and you see in different areas of the country how that's carried on, and that's become the new norm. So, like for example, in Southern California, they a lot of the drivers there, when they're driving from stop to stop, they'll run their arms all the way back.
Right. It's really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because it hasn't changed at all, except for there's a cylinder on the back. To open
Yeah.
Yeah. That's our truck. Oh, maybe 2 more tires or 4 more tires.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's a single axle back or.
Yeah, I think this one's a single axle. It looks like a 20-yard body.
Right.
Yeah.
That's probably a lot of weight though. Think about like how much they could pack on theirs, because there's no restriction on pushing that packer blade back.
Well, I mean, you got to think. So that's an international CO 190 single axle. You're probably talking 36,000 pounds total capacity, right?
Yeah.
With the body, I mean, that thing probably has a tear of maybe 22 to 25,000 pounds.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, you're definitely over, I don't know. It depends on what type of waste you're picking up.
Right. I mean, think about this. When you didn't want to go to the landfill twice and you wanted to finish up your day, how much weight you could put on your truck by sitting still and packing the heck out of it. But we have.
I'll tell you this. In the new way that I had, it didn't matter. When that thing got full, it got full. It didn't matter how much weight I had. Like,
really? Yeah. Because mine will crush through anything. Like, if you sit there and push on it, it'll crush a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, they didn't have the restrictions that we have today.
No.
That was...
Yeah, probably not. But, yeah.
That would be crazy.
Now let's take a closer look at the Dempster Dumpmaster. First, the clearance arms, which come in 3 sizes. Here's type CA15, which has a gross weight lifting capacity of 1,500 pounds and handles 1, 2, and 3 cubic yard containers. Then there's the CA30, which lifts 3,000 pounds gross, handling containers 1 through 6 yard capacity. For situations where extra heavy material must be handled, there's the CA60, which lifts 6,000 pounds and handles all containers 1 through 6 yards. There are also 3 sizes of packer bodies. The 18DB.
So now, most trucks will handle, they're rated for 8,000 pounds.
Right.
Some are, we'll go up to 10. Maybe 12. I don't think I've seen 12. I think 10 is like the limit, 10,000 pounds, so 5 tons. So, but I mean, shit, man. How many containers do you think on your route you could pick up with a CA15 and 8-yard Dempster with a Dumpmaster body?
Oh, I don't know.
Nah, probably not that many.
I don't know. I pick up apartment complexes, man.
Yeah. I mean, 1,500 pounds. I mean,
yeah.
God, that's not a lot. But it's crazy to think that, you could basically order, so the arms and the body capacity were different. So typically you'd see, and they'll get into this in a minute, I'm going to ruin it for everybody, but you'd see like the 1,500 pound arms paired with the 18-yard body, the 30,000 pound arms, or the 3,000 pound arms with the 20, 25, whatever, and then the 60 with the 30 or whatever. But it is basically a mix and match option. So you could get their biggest body they offered with, a 1,500 pound arm, if that's what you really wanted.
Right. That's crazy.
Crazy. He holds 18 cubic yards of compacted material, or the equivalent of 54 to 72 yards of loose refuse. The 24 dB packs from 70 to 100 yards into its 24 cubic yard body. And the 30 dB, which has a loose refuse capacity of 80 to 120 yards in its 30-yard body. For special situations, depending on the truck chassis, any type clearance arm may be used with any size packer body. However, in most cases, the CA15 is used with the 18 dB packer, the CA30 with the 24 dB, and the CA60 is used with the 30 dB packer body. Here's a type CA30 with a 24 cubic yard body. Note that the clearance arms, rather than being straight, bridge the cab, an important safety feature.
So notice where the arm cylinders.
They're right in front of the forks.
No, those are the fork cylinders. Where are the arm cylinders?
Underneath? Yeah. What the heck?
Yeah.
How's it even working?
That's how they used to do it, dude. That's pure California style right there. California trucks all the way up until the 90s had undermount arm cylinders. Yeah.
Were they off the circle? So like it'd be down here.
So undermount arm cylinders have several advantages, right? One of the biggest disadvantage is the bar that goes across and connects the arms, right? Mm-hmm. You have to have a welded piece of metal right here that basically serves as the crankshaft to connect the arm cylinder, right?
Right.
So that weld, as you're continually moving the arm up and down, back and forth and whatnot, can break. And there's plenty of instances and stories I've heard of where that's happened. Advantages, right? So if you think about the arm geometry, as we're progressing through different cab sizes and lengths, a lot of early front loaders were mounted on conventional style chassis, and then cab overs became more prevalent. But just because it's a cab over doesn't mean that the cab length is the same. Right. So the geometry of the arm basically has to be made. So this is an international arm, right? You put it on a Ford, you're going to get a different style arm, or, etc. So the geometry of the arm and where it stops, right? Because if it was a direct, they call it. So this is an undermount arm cylinder, or this is basically a undermount push cylinder style arm, and then you have what is we know today as the direct pull. So the arm cylinder is mounted outside the body and connected directly to the arm, but that changes the arm geometry as you see in your traditional front loader. So instead of having this straight your first jog leg of the arm that goes straight up, you have to have a kink in it for the arm cylinder to connect to, right? So that changes the arm geometry. So, but with a direct pull, the length of the cylinder has to be a lot longer, And if you've ever noticed, as you're operating your front loader on your day-to-day route, what takes the least amount of time, bringing your forks down or bringing your forks up.
Right.
Forks down, because you're letting gravity, as your cylinder is extending, do the work for you, right? So a lot of California style trucks had the fork cylinders mounted behind the arms. So they were mounted on this side rather than in front of the arms. So you could get away in a configuration like this with the arm cylinders mounted under the body where they're pushing and pulling. You could have a shorter stroke cylinder that still does the same thing, or has the same capacity as a direct pull cylinder that's potentially twice as long. Right. But you're getting all the strength, all the power from your cylinder. You get all the power from your cylinder when you're extending it, not contracting it. Right. So direct pull, you're contracting the cylinder to raise the arms up. With a direct pull, you're extending the cylinder to raise the arms. Okay. Right. So this is with this style arm, I would place this video probably 1959, maybe early 60, because very shortly after this, they went to the tradition, what we call, the standard now of the outside direct pull cylinder. And the reason a lot of the East Coast companies moved away from it was because of this, the fact that they had to basically mount the arm cylinder to this crankshaft using this method, and it's basically a potential. It's a major weak point.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Hashtag history, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue.
Feature. No chance of striking the operator's head or arm. And cab doors may be opened at any arm position, permitting the driver to dismount if necessary.
Yeah, so that is sorry, I know I'm pausing. I'm sorry. So that is a direct jab at the suicide arms.
So he would actually use that in real life like that.
What do you mean?
Like en route, they would use the arms like that.
Well, yeah. Yeah, because So Dempster held the over the cab arm patent, because they weren't the first ones to do it, but they were the first ones to get the patent approved. They held this patent over every other front load manufacturer's head and sued them until 1965, when a small company, and this, maybe we could talk about this next week, basically sued them and said, yeah, no, it's a continuation of prior art. And then everybody else continued to do it. But it forced everybody else to be super creative in how they design their front load arms to be a lot safer. California, they didn't give a fuck. They did their suicide arms that, with the mirrors that came in and everything. Give me a second here. I'm going to pull up the video for you, and we'll just show it really quick. And I did not mean to do this, but we'll go ahead and do it.
You got to get one of them trucks for your museum.
Here. Okay. So this is a video. It's on my channel. So this is a 1964 BMARS front loader from Southern California. This is a Holloway Disposal. Company's still around. John Belikoff, awesome dude. This is an old 8mm film that they had digitized. He's one of the two boys standing right here, but it shows you this. So because Dempster held this patent over every other manufacturer's head, they either had to do the suicide arm, which is what this style is called, or you had the creative companies like Easy Pack with their grasshopper arm. So we'll watch this really quick, and you can see. I don't even know if you've seen this video before.
No, I haven't.
But watch the mirrors as they fold in. So they're on a pulley system. Yeah, so these are called over-the-wheel arms. So basically, they basically cleared the wheel so the driver could drive with the arms down, and he would, so he could turn the wheels left and right. But you see the bottom style forks and everything.
Truck fire.
But you notice here, the arms are mounted directly to the chassis. So this was another big thing that what is sleep timer? I don't care. So this is a quality of underbody mounted arm cylinders. So a lot of times the arm and the bar that would connect the arms were mounted directly to the chassis rather than to the body, as they traditionally are now. So that way, so the driver would have to bring the arms down when he lifted the body because they were separate.
That is so cool.
But anyway, and I'll rewind the Dempster video, but that so when Dempster makes a reference to, the driver has full access to the, you can open the door and, through any place of the arm, they're basically saying, hey, haha, buy us because, we're the only ones that are authorized to do this because we're holding this patent over everybody else's head.
That's cool.
Yeah.
With a 30 dB backer body. Rather than being straight, bridge the cab, an important safety feature. No chance of striking the operator's head or arm. And cab doors may be opened at any arm position, permitting the driver to dismount if necessary.
Yep.
To operate outside
right
controls and move containers to the lifting
outside controls. That's the California thing.
This speeds operations at locations where inside containers are used.
But that'd be cool.
For high dock pickups, outside controls with extra long handles are available. Inside controls are simple and easy to operate. They are used for dock or ground pickup where the container does not have to be moved.
So notice how the clean-out door is mounted on the curbside rather than the street side like it is in most trucks
For
now.
operation in exceptionally windy areas, a manual hopper cover is available. And a completely automatic cover that opens and closes with each dumping cycle can be installed.
That's the front of the truck, right?
Another optional feature is a pressure tank.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Okay, that was the front of the truck. Okay, it looked like it was the back of the truck, but it
Where?
was the front of the truck that he was opening.
Are you talking about the hopper lid?
Yeah, the hopper lid. Yep.
Yeah. So basically, every front loader pretty much has this now, but it's just actuated by a cylinder at the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this system was basically, it's like the blinds, today. Yeah. You just turn them and they open or they close,
And a completely automatic cover that opens and closes with each dumping cycle.
Yeah, so they basically had two systems for that. They had the one in the video that I was showing you, the Laidlaw truck earlier this week, where the hopper door opened. Maybe we can watch that video next. That'd be a cool safety video to go through. And shit, that's what we were going to do, isn't it? And then I just was like, we're just going to do Dempster. Screw it. Maybe we'll do it next week. Yeah, let's do it. We'll do that next week. So
we got next week.
Hey, I don't even know what we're going to do next week. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Fuck it. We'll do it live. Yeah, so they had three different methods of handling, the top door. So they had this method where the driver basically got out and, did it manually. And then they weren't the only companies to do this. This was a common practice with that wheel and pulley system. They had a mechanical connection. I got another video that shows that basically as the arms go back, it engages this hinge that opens up a top door and lowers it. Or they had the more common hydraulic one that was based on solenoids and actuated, opened and closed based on the position of the arm as it's raising. So, really cool. But that system, I've talked to a lot of drivers who have run those trucks, and as they get worn out, the solenoids go, and sometimes as the arm, the hopper door will go up, but as they bring the arm down, like the hopper door won't close using the hydraulic cylinder. So they've taken out some power lines using that, because if it goes, it goes. Yeah, and you got to park because you can't drive anywhere because that thing's sitting 20 feet up in the air.
And you can't really see that from the cab. Like the visibility to see above the cab like that is not that good. Like, could you see
not in old trucks like this? I mean, if you have that spot mirror that most of us have now, yeah, maybe you can see that. But remember, as that giant heavy metal lid comes down, that thing smacks on the truck, and you're feeling that.
Right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. So if you don't feel that smack, you're like, oh crap, my arm didn't come down, and there's something wrong, and there really isn't too much you can do as a driver, because it's it's a system thing, so it's a mechanical failure. Mm-hmm. Whereas something like this, or like if a lot of so companies like Easy Pack and Packmore would actually attach a rod to the front lip of the body, and they'd attach it to the basically ended up being the second the top of the arm where the that goes down in front of the body or front of the cab. And so as the arms are lifting, that door is lifting up. So that's another reason why you see a lot of the standard practice for driving from stop to stop in front loaders is driving with the arms all the way down, because a lot of haulers adopted those trucks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, that's making sense now.
Yeah.
Can be installed. Another optional feature is a pressure tank for water or deodorant. This permits easy cleaning of containers.
So this isn't a feature that you see in a lot of trucks nowadays.
Transfer pressure.
I think the only place that you really see this is like dedicated organics trucks that pick up, like the food waste and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, it's kind of cool to think that, this was, something that, they did back in the day, or at least thought about,
Right.
From the lifting arms to the truck frame, preventing damage from shock. 7 types of all steel containers are available for use with the Dumpmaster. 6-yard, 5-yard, 4, 3, 2, and 1-yard capacities. A 7th container makes it possible to use the Dumpmaster on hand-loaded routes when it is not serving storage containers. Moving along, it is carried in front of the Dumpmaster,
a lot of companies
where the operator can see the loading crew at all times. Note the low
loading height, compared to like
when
a
the container is full
traditional
and ready to be dumped
non-drop
into the
frame side
compactor
loader.
body, this swinging baffle plate keeps rubbish from scattering.
And everything happened in front of the
Other
driver.
special types of containers with couplers and casters are towed in trains to inside accumulation points in large industrial plants. Containers track perfectly down aisles and around turns.
I love the animations. It's so
Here's another type of industrial application at the Caterpillar Tractor Company, Morton, Illinois. Here, detachable containers and the dump master dispose of hundreds of yards of refuse daily. In addition to serving big industrial plants, the dump master is performing its job in many cities. An installation in Atlanta, Georgia, is operated by the McWhirter Materials Handling Company. At hundreds of locations all over Atlanta, McWhirter is providing containerized refuse service for a wide variety of customers. In the Atlanta airport area, containers are spotted at 18 outdoor and indoor accumulation points. Here, the highly mobile Dempster dump master makes its rounds from container to container and picks up 85 yards of refuse, the equivalent of 526 standard
Love how he's
trash
driving with
cans
his forks out.
in 1 hour and 5 minutes.
Old school.
Like this pickup just inside the Southern Airways hangar. Or this one, where the driver pushes the container on the arms and uses the outside controls to empty it. Elsewhere in the city of Atlanta, the dump master serves small customers and large ones, like Carling's Brewery. At Carling's, it goes inside to a dock. Dismounting, the driver pushes the container onto the lifting arm.
Yeah, I had several stops like that.
Raises it clear of the dock with his outside controls. He backs outside, where the load is dumped, and the container is then returned to its dock position. At National Container Corporation, a 6 cubic yard container placed below docks is easy for the Dempster dump master to reach. For service stations, garages, and smaller commercial firms, the 2 cubic yard container serves admirably. This Texaco station keeps its premises clean, eliminates fire hazards by using enclosed storage. Here's a motel application using a 2 cubic yard container on casters. This is a Kroger grocery.
Do you guys call them casters or wheels?
I don't even know. I don't think we have one of those.
Oh, you don't have any. So you don't have on your weekly routes. You don't have any dumpsters on wheels or casters.
Yeah. We call them wheels.
Call them wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, we call them casters on the West Coast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you carry any with you?
No.
Oh, I did, because we had shit drivers that would slam them down and break the wheels and make, especially on pullouts and whatnot. Right. So I'd always carry a couple extra in my cab with a wrench and whatnot, so I could, like, as it's up in the air, I could put a new wheel on there and whatnot.
That makes sense, because we don't replace ours, and I've broken like a set of wheels. I've broken a few set of them, because it, like, when you set it down, like if you're angled wrong and you set it down like on one wheel only, I'll snap that wheel right off. I found that out the hard way.
Yeah, if you do it really hard.
Well, no. I
it's gentle, man.
I just brought it down and set it down, and then it touched one wheel, and that wheel just. I was like, shoot. Only once though, so I'm good with that stuff.
Man, you're like the only once guy. Oh, I've only lost one can. Only broken one wheel.
Only put one can in the hopper.
Such a
I think
baby.
You call that turtling a can. I've only done it once.
Yeah.
And then I ate it. So, well, I had to go to the landfill right after that, because the truck, it wouldn't eat no more past that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Warehouse, served by one 6-yard container. And a food processor. Gordon's Atlanta plant is also served by one container. Yes, all over Atlanta and all over America, the Dempster Dump Master is providing efficient, low-cost refuse removal service for municipalities, industrial plants, commercial firms, and housing areas.
Yeah, they like mimic like Walt Disney, bro.
Dude, I mean, these guys' marketing is just awesome.
Right? It's like Walt Disney approved.
Yeah. Well, so what's funny is, so I have all these videos up on YouTube, right? And they all have copyright claims because the music that they use is like classic. I don't know. They're like, oh, it's a copyright claim because you're not supposed to be using this music. I'm like, whatever. I don't care. I got these videos for free. I just want people to watch them.
Right, right.
I don't care about making money off of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't that the plan? You wanted to make a few million off that movie?
No, I got those videos for free, man. I haven't made a red cent off of them.
I think it's as long as you don't monetize it, they don't really mess with you.
I think. Well, I mean, shit. I don't have enough subscribers to monetize. I used to.
You should. On your main channel?
Yeah.
You should. It's 500.
I don't care.
It's 500, so you should.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't care.
But you might have to watch out because if you do got a lot of copyright strikes on your thing and you tried to monetize, that would affect you.
No.
So.
I don't do this to make money, man.
Right. Just to get the word out there.
Just to get the word out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 2 videos, and we're what, hour and a half in. You wanna watch one more, or you want to call it?
Well, I mean, we can probably stop now and like try to keep them at like an hour or
hour and a half.
Yeah, roughly around. Instead of going too far. I mean, like it's a beginning channel. I don't know. Like it's hard to say.
Yeah.
It's hard
Whatever
to say.
You want to do, man.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can stop now and see how this episode we're here does.
Yeah.
And add to it or take from it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
See how it does. But hey, I think it's good. I mean, we got 30 views on this episode, so
sweet.
That's pretty good views for
like 30 unique views.
Huh?
30 unique.
I can't see all that yet. I can just see the analytics, basic analytics. So it tells me how many viewers are in the room and how many views we've had.
Okay.
So, and I know we've had like 4 or 5 people stick around for a minute. So
well, we've got 2 watching right now. Right. I'm one of them because I got it up on my second computer over here.
Yeah. So, hey, I mean, I think it's just the average duration was 4 minutes. So, and it's a new channel, so we're getting outside people coming in and watching it.
That
probably has nothing to do
with they probably came in, saw I was talking, and were like, "Look at that mustache."
You should have dressed up in your outfit, man.
Shit.
You had it like so perfect, like the last time. Like, you fit the scene.
Yeah.
It was awesome though. But yeah, I mean, I think it went good. I think for the very first run at it, did better than my first video. So
sweet. Well, hey guys, I'll close this out. So if you're watching this after we're live, please like and subscribe. If you like this content, leave a comment below and follow us. We're going to try to do this every Friday night, something very similar to this, where we're exploring the history of the industry, whether we have a guest that comes on, we do reaction style videos to some of the stuff that I have, whether it's Dempster or I got some old 80s safety videos that we'll go through, or we just get in here and we bullshit. So, we care about I care about the history of this industry and sharing it. And, you don't know where you're going until you know where you've been. So that's always been my motto. And, especially in the waste industry with all the different things that are happening, I think it's good that we remember our roots and where we came from. So,
right. And you know what we should do, right? We should find somebody that's like in their 60s that.
Oh, I got lots of people that I got lots of people.
We got to get one because they've seen the older styles. They've seen them older trucks.
So I'm going to try to get Tony Curry on here, and he, so that B-Mars front loader I showed you, the red one, his dad built that truck.
Yeah,
he was the owner of that company. that built that truck.
That'd be awesome because he would be on here, telling us about it.
Well, just talking about what he remembers, and because he's run two companies, Able Body out of San Francisco in the 70s and 80s, and then Bridgeport Manufacturing.
That's really interesting. Yeah. Maybe we can get him for 2 episodes. He can go on yours and on my podcast.
We'll do it all, dude.
Shoot. All right, but yeah, you guys have a good night. Oh shoot. And we're good. Yeah, Sweet. It's good. Dude, that was awesome, man. I like that video, dude.